Hey there, MD403. This is Mitch Peterson here for the final project. The lesson I put together was teaching how to use Boolean search terms. I put it together for a middle school level, and I'm thinking it's probably going to take about one block because they do have some foundation in what they should be doing. Right out the gate, I'm using standards for research, obviously. ISTE standards for collecting data and for using appropriate tools. The materials I'm using from the course are some assessment materials. I'm using Kahoot for kind of a gamification portion of it, and Google Form as an exit ticket. I'm assuming that most of the students have some kind of device, or they'll have access to a Chromebook, because if I'm the SLMS, then there we go. So, right out the gate, I'm going to give them the pretest of the Kahoot first out. I'll show you what that looks like now. So, really quickly, some kind of silly questions. Just what is a Boolean? We go into some fairly complicated things, down to what are generally reliable domains. And this will kind of get into using the site search command. So, some of the concepts we're going to be focusing on: typing in questions, choosing strong search terms, using quotes, using multiple sets of quotes with the and differentiator, academic language versus tier 1 vocab, and the site command, as I already mentioned. At the end of this, I want them to have recalled something they've learned in the past. I want them to understand some of the new concepts that we're going to be teaching. And for the exit ticket, I'm going to be able to individually check which students understand how to use them and which might need a refresher course, so I can pull them for reteaching later on. So the progression itself, the initiation, have the Kahoot music playing. I've had great success in class. When they walk in, Kahoot music's playing, they know they're going to have fun. Puts them right into a place where education is something where they want to do. The pre-assessment, the Kahoot itself, is the same one I showed you here. It's comprised of 13 questions. The number is not important. I just made sure I hit each of the concepts at least twice, and some of them I really stuck into. Especially the one, like the site search command, I have 3 or 4 questions based on that because that will be new learning for them. So, I have here 75% or higher constitutes a quick review of the concept. So if most students know they shouldn't be using tier 1 words, there's really no point in wasting class time going over that again. So in that case, the Kahoot will be a formative instruction, essentially. So going down there, the progression is fairly simple. I'm going to save the scores from the first round. I go down and I teach explicitly showing the Boolean search operator into a clear and empty Google search bar. That way the students can see in real time the quality of what they find. They can find how many different pieces there are, different results that is. So we go down 4A and all the way through 6. Each time, I'm going to give the students the opportunity to record operators in their notebooks. Some students prefer to use notebooks. Some students obviously think they know everything and can get by. Some of them can. So at this level in middle school, I leave it completely up to them whether or not they want to take notes. So chunking the Boolean operations, we're going to encourage students to think, pair, share. That way there's an academic discussion using the phraseology of the Boolean search terms. They also have peer definitions at that point. They're speaking at their levels. So they're not only using ours, they're using their own understandings to prove these things. Teacher will model how more specificity and Boolean search commands improve the quality and number of the results as seen here. So this is something I put together for a different class, but the images are all there. I tell them not to write a question, just to type in the most important words. So right off the bat, what was the cause of the Civil War versus cause Civil War? We go from 313 million to 22 million. And then as we go down, quotation marks, cause, Civil War, 124, using different words. So instead of cause, we have contributed. That's kind of, you'll find what you're looking for. We're bringing it down. And then I really get into the cite commands here. And this is a big differentiator. We're down below million. This cite:.gov gives us 32,000. That's probably the best one yet. And then if we add a second Boolean search term here, if we use the second quotation mark phraseology, and we put sectionalism in, we're down to 2,600 results. So that's all I'm teaching here. The last step on this site is to just go through multiple pages. You might not find what you need right out the gate. So I'll use this as a reference as I'm going down. If the one that I'm doing in real time modeling for the students doesn't work. After all that, we have the post-assessment. They play the exact same Kahoot. I want them to try without their notebooks just to see if what they've just had conversations about works. If they need to, fine. I mean, I'd rather them have correct answers and practice the skill, practice looking back and forth at the notes and seeing what the corrections are, than just randomly guessing. Closure, I'm going to ask for the purpose of combining multiple Boolean operators. I'm looking for essentially bringing down the numbers and bringing up the quality. And then finally, the exit ticket. The exit ticket's pretty straightforward as well. It's a Google form, simple one question, other than their name, of course. It says, you're going to try to find out the reason Mount Rushmore was built and why the 4 presidents on it were chosen. So using at least 2 phrases and 1 site, what would you type into the search bar to find answers for this scenario? They put it in, and this is going to be what allows me to choose what students might need to be teaching, what students I might be able to use as peer exemplars to help them reteach each other. So I could use this for flexible grouping, anything like that. So that's essentially the lesson itself. I'll post a link to the lesson within the YouTube video, and thanks for a great semester.